and a warm welcome to State of Business, RTV's primetime business news bulletin. I'm Indivri Amwatta. We take a look at tonight's headlines first. Formulation process of national policy on international trade agreements not transparent, accuses GMOA. And Sri Lanka gets $318 million green credit line from India to develop railway sector. On to the stories in detail now. Government Medical Officers Association says the process to formulate a national policy on international trade agreements is not transparent. Addressing media, the Treasurer of GMOA, Dr. Nalinda Herath, requested the government to appoint a special commission to undertake the process.
We appreciate the fact that the government has initiated to formulate a national policy regarding the trade agreements, but the process is not transparent. People who drafted the trade agreement, they are the people who are going to formulate the national policy. That is not fair and that is not transparent. So we request the government or His Excellency the President to appoint a commission, special commission on this regard, and that commission should formulate the national policy.
Meanwhile, Cabinet co-spokesperson Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne questioned the basis of GMOA's opposition to the Economic and Technological Cooperation Agreement to be signed with India at the weekly Cabinet Media Conference today.
ගිවිසුම් පිළිබඳව සාකච්ඡා කරන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලත් විරෝධතාවය කියන්නේ මොකකටද? ඒ කියන්නේ කිසිම වෙළඳ ගිවිසුම් රටවල් එක්ක එපයි කියලාද කියන්නේ නෑනේ. දැන් ඉක්ටා එක ගැන කතා කරන්නේ. මේකේ ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල්ස්ලා කියන එක කිසියක් සඳහන් වෙන්නේ නැහැ ඉක්ටා එක. එහෙම කිසිම ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල්. හැබැයි එකක් මතක තියාගන්න. මමත් වෛද්‍යවරයෙක්නේ. අද මේ ලන්ඩන් නුවර විතරක් ඉන්නවා ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයෝ 11000 ගාණක් වෛද්‍ය වෘත්තියේ දෙන මතක තියාගන්න. ඒතකොට අපිට එංගලන්තෙත් වැඩ කරත හැකි, ඇමරිකාවෙත් වැඩ කරත හැකි, අනේ සිංගප්පූරුවෙත් වැඩ කරත හැකි. මේ ඔක්කොම තැන්වල වැඩ කරා. ඒ රටේ මිනිහෙකුට මෙහෙ බෑ.
Moving away from the ETCA controversy, the ambassador at large from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Singapore, Bilahari Kaushikhan, says Sri Lanka must be mindful that the geographical relevance of a small state could be inflicted through economic foundations. In this context, Ambassador Kaushikhan said moving swiftly towards proposed trade pacts should not be neglected. He was speaking at the CFA Sri Lanka Capital Market Awards ceremony. CFA Capital Market Awards has been held for 4 years since 2013 with the aim of recognizing professionals who have established industry benchmarks and spearheaded governance and ethics to advance domestic financial markets. Winners were announced for Best Quality Research Report, Best Investor Relations, Best Stockbroker Research Team and the newly introduced category Best Unit Trust Fund. Ambassador at large from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Singapore, Bilahari Kaushikhan, delivered the keynote address on evolving geopolitics of the Indian Ocean region. How should Sri Lanka position itself to exploit political and economic opportunities?
Geography is never just geography. Geography is contingent and politically constructed. As crucial as geographic location are the mental frameworks, the cognitive maps within which we situate ourselves and hence how we imagine our future. Coming from Singapore, I reject the notion that geography is destiny. Of course, we cannot escape geography, but small countries that wish to preserve maximum autonomy must never allow themselves to be limited by their geography. And to imagine ourselves only as a South Asian country or a West Asian country, geography affords an opportunity, it does not guarantee success. Success requires sound domestic policy. Small states should never assume that they are intrinsically relevant to the international system, and in particular to the major powers. Relevance must first of all be built on strong economic foundations. And from this perspective, looking at Sri Lanka from Singapore, the proposed economic and trade and technical cooperation agreement with India and the proposed free trade agreement with China are opportunities not to be let slip, as is, in a much more modest way, the recently proposed free trade agreement with my own country. Nor should Japan be neglected.
More news coming your way after this break. Welcome back. You're joining State of Business. Sri Lanka will receive a credit line of $318 million from India for the development of Sri Lankan railway sector. India has already granted loan facilities of around $956 million for the development of railway service in Sri Lanka. Those funds have been utilized in improving northern and southern railway lines and to purchase engines and power sets. The latest loan amount is expected to be utilized to improve the signal system from Maho to Anuradhapura and Anuradhapura to Omanthe and to purchase 6 power sets with AC carriages, 10 engines, 30 wagons with oil tanks, 20 containers carrying wagons and 160 carriages. Sri Lanka will enter into an agreement with the Exim Bank of India to obtain the credit facility. And the Deputy Director of Commerce, Somasen Mahadiulvava, says Sri Lanka needs or rather faces delays in the import and export clearance due to inefficient and insufficient infrastructure in place. Mahadiulvava said as a result, high costs are also incurred. He was speaking at an awareness seminar on World Trade Organization Trade Facilitation Agreement.
What is the issue with the person custom clearance? So you will see here the picture. So issue is really the countries like Africa, the countries like us. So we are taking comparatively high time to get cleared our export-import consignment. So that is one aspect. The other aspect is the cost. When we compare with African region, we are okay, but that is not enough. So the high cost is being, again, charged for the clearance of export and import goods. So I would say these are the key points, time and the cost. Because of those things, we needed the trade facilitation agreement to this world. Sources for delays, sources for high cost. So what are the reasons? Infrastructure. The lack of infrastructure, I would say the inefficient infrastructure would be one reason, whereas technology, perhaps we are using the outdated technology, or the technology which is not compatible with our system, technology which is not compatible with other trading partners.
And we have Stock Watch coming up next after this break. Welcome back to the news. The Colombo Bourse traded on thin volumes, ending the day negative, continuing its losing streak from the week. For the week as selling persisted on index-weighted counters. Local investors continued to drive the market as foreign interest continued. The All Share Price Index dipped 5.43 to close at 6,382.42, with the S&P SL 20 index plunging around 1.90 points to close trading at 340 or at 3,404.81. Turnover for the day amounted to 364 million rupees, with 23 million shares trading hands. The top traded counters were distilleries with 36 million rupees, followed by People's Leasing and Finance with 32.6 million rupees, Nation Lanka Finance 29.7 million rupees and Haley's Fabric 23.4 million rupees. Foreign inflows amounted to around 90 million rupees today, with foreign outflows totaling 75.6 million rupees. Activity in the foreign section was also present on distilleries and Chevron lubricants. Here's a look at the day's foreign currency rates. That's all from the newsroom for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time. Good night.